This amazing piece of creativity came about because we got a roll of fabric that was not as wide as our other fabric, so I had to reinvent our layout. So the challenge for you is to take the roll of orange ripstop, which is 100 yards long, figure out a way to roll it out into 25-yard pieces. I would suggest either measuring out 25 yards and marking it with masking tape, or coming up with a way as a team to use some PVC poles to wrap it back and forth. The 4 layers of the ripstop need to go first. One lays this way, then it flips over, and then it lays that way. Then the third one goes back this way, and then the fourth one goes back this way. And that is important so we get rights and lefts out of all the patterns that we have for you to lay out. So I will give you a chance to come up with whatever idea you think might work, and I'll give you some PVC pipes and scissors and masking tape, and I'll let you as a team figure out what the best solution is. Once you get your 4 layers laid out, then one person or 2 can go along one edge of the entire length, and you're going to mark 32 inches. You can mark it with a pin, you can mark it with a pen or a marker. You need to measure from the end 32 inches all the way down. 32, 32, make a mark, 32, make a mark, 32, and that will continue all the way. You'll do that 25 times because there are 25 vests here. Now at this end, someone else can take a ruler and on this side can mark 18 inches. 18, 18, 18, 18, 18. So that's 6 rows of 18. Then I will give you copies of this layout and let you lay out the patterns while the people are marking with the markers. The rest of the kids need to be going along each edge and pinning the layers together about every 2 feet. So make sure all 4 layers come together and meet on the edge, and pin the layers together along the edge. Once that's all straightened out and those marks are made, you can start laying out the patterns and pinning them on. It starts with the biggest ones at this end and goes all the way down to small at the other end, and then the hoods at the very end. There are hip pockets that are smaller that go down here by the hoods and the small vests. There are chest pockets that go, most of them are here, and there are a few more down here. There's long collar pieces that will go here and down by the larges. And then we have large pockets, large hip pockets that will go along in a line all the way right there. So you will have a copy of this so you know what goes where and how to lay it out and pin it. Once that is all pinned and you get an approval from a teacher or a Turtle Shelter Project volunteer, you can cut it all out. You're going to cut carefully alongside each of the patterns. When you're cutting straight edges, you can just cut one line in between the 2 patterns. You may have a little bit you need to trim on the edge, but if you line up the patterns, especially like these, if you line them up with just maybe 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch between them, then you can just cut one line down in between. You don't have to cut on both sides of that line, and that saves some cutting work. After these are cut out, you can send runners to the staging area, which will be in the lunchroom. There will be a place for each size vest to be stacked, for the collars to be stacked, for the pockets to be stacked, and for the hoods to be stacked. So that's the task for your team. Ready, go.